a bit. So, and a
So
big
Sue,
thank you.
Sue, would you welcome again? I just started recording.
Welcome, everybody. A big welcome and happy Thanksgiving almost. And we're so happy to have this virtual Zoom meeting being presented from our clubhouse, which has been thoughtfully decorated by Linan and her marketing committee, which include Rosemary, Linda Corbett, Louise, Jill Olson. I hope I haven't omitted anybody. If I have, thank you just the same. The clubhouse looks beautiful. Just so everybody knows, the Zoom information for tonight's meeting is constant every month at the same time, 6 o'clock, the third Thursday of the month. And the Zoom ID information is listed in your yearbook on page 12. So you don't have to fuss about finding it each time. So we're very excited tonight to have Cheryl Feuerborn and Susan Coolidge presenting a wonderful presentation on stunning floral holiday arrangements. Thank you so much, ladies, for giving your time and your effort for us tonight. We really appreciate it. Last month, we were lucky to have Lisa DeMarios of the Petaluma Art Museum present an interesting program on Art as Action, which focused on the importance of voting. And by the way, these programs, as Linan says, are being recorded and will be on our website in case you miss any of them. And next month, Linan and her marketing committee will be presenting a program on Christmas etiquette, tips for Christmas etiquette. So that should be fun. Hopefully by now you will have all reviewed the beautiful virtual video tour of our clubhouse. And this was generously sponsored by Tina Hittenberger and Kathy Edmondson of Compass Real Estate. But this is the first of many wonderful things that have been happening behind the scenes. And we're very grateful that our members step forward without being asked and do these wonderful things for us. The virtual video tour is also available to see on our website. And we can't wait to use this wonderful marketing tour when the clubhouse finally opens again. And just recently, Linda Buffo has stepped forward and offered to spearhead another video, a historical video, which is going to be used in conjunction with the Finding Our Roots history exhibit at the Petaluma Museum in March. And she has this idea of interviewing historical characters who will be dressed in costume and will be narrating important parts of our club's history. In conjunction with that, the museum has offered to scan our historical documents and give us the flash drive. In return, they will house our documents for us at the museum, which is really where they belong. So it's a win-win situation, and we're really excited about it. And if you're interested in assisting Linda Buffo and her committee, please contact her. She'd be delighted to have you. She doesn't want anyone to have to work too hard. Anyway, it's a great opportunity to get our past in recorded. Well, like was already mentioned, Nancy Grosser has been, or not Nancy Grosser, Lynn Grosser has been busy researching security systems for our clubhouse. It was suggested to us that in view of these uncertain times that we explore the possibility of a security system. The board has not made a decision yet. We're still kind of thinking about it. However, we are going to go ahead and repair the French doors in January. It's quite a project. It's going to be 6 to 8 weeks long. And Lynn is diligent about finding the craftsmen that we need to do the project. Just not any carpenter can do it. And Brent Russell helped us with that, I understand. Nancy Frazier of House and Grounds reports that Vitalent was very happy with the blood drive we had back in October. We had 48 donors. They were delighted. And as you know, we're having another blood drive on Friday, December 4th. We have enough volunteers helping, but if you're interested in blood, I'm sure they'd love to have you.
Regularly.
What's that, Lynn? Oh, can't hear, of course. Anyway, so I wanted to thank all the people that volunteered to help out and also to give blood in October. Let's see what else here.
That's what I was telling them. I've never done it before. They used to call Tom.
We
regular.
still have some wine being stored at Carrie Davison's office. This is left over from the Leadership Speaker Series. Colleen Mahoney feels it would be beneficial to move it out because we don't know when we're going to be able to resume the speaker series. So there's still over 3.5 cases of Pinot Noir. It's the 2016 Pacific Heights Pinot Noir. It's being offered for $10 a bottle.
I like that thing.
So if you're interested, see me or contact Carrie Davison. And then the other thing is normally or often in the past, the club has supported Petaluma People Services as our nonprofit to support at holiday time. And we do that usually by doing the 1,000 Bowls event. But obviously we aren't going to be able to do that, but we would like to encourage the membership to do it on their own or perhaps make an independent donation to Petaluma People Services. They do such a wonderful job for the community. And I think that's all. Esther already mentioned that we're planning a non-event fundraiser at the end of January. Anne Morante, a treasurer, has been very diligent about keeping our costs under control, and we hope not to dip into our $17,000 CD, which is our reserve fund. But so far, we've been successful. So I think that's all I have to say. I'm just so happy to see everybody tonight. So if there's anything I've forgotten, speak up, please. Or raise your hand, and then Lynn can. Lynn Ann, do you want to recognize Lynn Grosser?
Yes.
Unmute her. Thank you.
Okay. I just want to real quick, since so many people are here that are on the board, is just in light of the PG&E bill, and I know comment was made in prior minutes that the bill's gone down because we haven't been utilizing the clubhouse, but I'm hoping to see that get reduced even more. We had the stove serviced just the other day. There was a very small leak and it was tightened up. And at the same time, the gas service was cut off at the back of the stove. There's actually a lever to do that. So the entire gas to the building wasn't shut off, but to the stove, yes. And in addition to that, the large refrigerator and the freezer, both of which were empty, have been at the panel shut off. So we're hoping, because of the draw from those appliances, to see further reduction to the PG&E. So
That's wonderful.
we
Thank
shall
you.
see. Just FYI.
Very
You
good.
can mute me now.
Does anyone else have something they'd like to add before we go on to the program? Raise your hand. Yanni,
Or the speakers become frozen in space.
I can't hear Yanni.
Well, we're trying to find her.
Yanni, where are you?
She's waving her hand, but
Where is she?
she's upper right, one in from the far corner. Like the one that looks like black and white. Upper right, one in.
Right, one in. Oh, there she
Yeah.
is. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, I just want to thank everyone for keeping our club going because it's very important to us. So thank you.
It doesn't do anything.
Well, all right. Well, with that, shall we proceed to the program?
Yes. Okay.
Introduce
Yahoo.
yourself.
Huh?
We have to introduce ourselves.
Speaker view. Okay.
Yeah?
No.
I'm gonna, hold on. Mute Sue.
Sue, can you mute? Okay. Okay, okay, no, you're muted. You're muted. Okay, so we're gonna go to the program.
Can they talk to us while we work, or
They
they're
can.
gonna mute them? Because they can ask
And here we
questions.
are.
You should have to invite questions.
Can you hear us? Oh, they can.
We're not talking.
Just barely, Lynn Ann, just barely.
Okay, the mic's over by the presenters.
So back
Yeah.
up a little bit or you're taking up 2/3 of the screen. Hello. Hi, this is Susan Coolidge and
Cheryl Fearborn, we're back
we're
again.
ready to roll. You want
Yep.
us to start?
You're gonna have 2
I'll
of those,
start.
so you do.
We're starting with Thanksgiving. And I have to tell you, this container is copper and it had a little sign saying free, and it was on the street around the corner from my house. So I helped myself to it. And at home I had this, you can't really see this, I realize, because it's against the back
Black, yeah.
of the room. But anyway, it's black branches and a piece of driftwood. And my jacket's about to provide
A backdrop.
a backdrop.
Linnea,
Now, it looks like an attack
Yes?
spider.
we're only seeing a very small screen of them. Can you put them on the entire screen?
I thought I did.
Oh,
Thank
never
you.
mind.
Thank you. Exit full screen. Okay. I'm on full screen. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna,
We had a full screen where we
we
were.
have a full screen. Is it a full screen now?
There's 2 things you can do here. You can spotlight, anybody who's a host can,
Because I'm gonna do a centerpiece for you, and mine's gonna be taking a lot of material.
Cheryl started.
So I'm gonna start with my container with Oasis. Oasis is floral foam, it's filled with water, and I want to make a centerpiece of just for Thanksgiving. So all of this plant material is mine, and from my garden, I'll tell you what it is. And then Leanne brought a whole bunch of roses and chrysanthemums and things for us to use also that I'm going to put in. And I'm going to use gold juniper. I know you have in your garden a lot of Nantina. Right now is real pretty because it has orangey tips for the fall. A lot of you have pistache trees, beautiful foliage for your arrangement. I have a few pork and bean succulents that have orangey. And I have some, this is a weed actually, and it's a real pretty silver, and you can paint it when it gets dry. So we might put some of that in. So I'm gonna just tell you that you're gonna start your table arrangement, however long your table is and however long you want your arrangement. There's your first move right there. So now you can go.
And all I'm doing is showing you what you can maybe put in your front hall or out on your front porch. There's nothing living going to be in this. It's going to be dried material. And it's just showing off free items. We're all for that,
It's
right?
called reuse. That is
Reuse. And everything collapsed a minute ago, so we'll hope for the best here. What I'm using in addition, and I have a neighbor who does not eat artichokes. She just thinks they're cute. And she didn't provide these. I obtained these at something called the Organization of Floral Artistry Designers annual seminar in South San Francisco. But when you have your beautiful artichoke has dried, you can spray paint it, and then it's eternal until it starts losing all of its center. But it's really fun to play with these guys. If you can get them dried and you have the beautiful purple thistle, that of course is worth hanging on to. But this is just something to play with. I guess if we were doing this in October, I might have added a huge spider or a rat or a skull or something. But as it is, it's just some dried flowers. And this is on a turntable, and I will rotate it so you can see it when I'm finished.
Are you using the branches to anchor it?
I am. I'm using the branches as the mechanics for this design, and long stems.
Can I cut in now
You
too
can
and
cut
say
in
that
now.
I've done this all the way around? That's my all the way bottom guy. This is going to be a pretty big arrangement. If you don't want it this big, make things a little smaller. But I want to do big for you because a lot of times you have a big table. So it's nice to have a pretty centerpiece.
So you're establishing your line. With
Yes,
the
and now I'm going to
vertical.
add another texture, another form, which is nice because if everything's the same, it's boring. So I'll put some Nandina in. I cut all this material ahead so you don't have to watch me cut and poke. Just cut. I mean
Or
poke.
poke,
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So I noticed you're going from the center.
So you're just building your stuff. Fall color now is so beautiful. Oh, boy. Too bad they didn't stay, the stuff doesn't stay on the trees longer.
So here we are talking about centerpieces when many people will be at home by themselves or with one or two other people. However, the newspaper had quite the suggestion lately, and that was to have your centerpiece and have everybody in your household on one side of the table and the television on your laptop on the other, and Zoom with somebody who was sitting on the other side of their table. And then you could have dinner for 8 in 2 places.
My, the times we're living in.
My, the times. Now you want that
Well,
over
that's
there.
gorgeous. Did you showcase that?
I showcased it and talked about it.
That's great.
Now
Yeah.
I don't really want to carry it across the room because
I also conditioned all this plant material. I've had it in water since yesterday because especially with leaves, they're gonna fall off because if you're using something you've never used before, like these are kind of, the pistachios are just dropping like no tomorrow with the slightest breeze. So you just have to be a little bit careful with them because leaves fall off. So if you're gonna use them, be careful. But they're beautiful.
So about how many days do you suppose the arrangement you're creating now will last?
Well, I know the junipers can be like forever. You can just drop that in your yard anywhere and it'll root and take over everything. But when you cut it, especially I've cut it from my yard, so the greens will last a long, long time. They even last a long time, not even in the water.
but the dried material won't hold. Probably it'll turn brown.
Was not dried.
That's right.
This is fresh.
It's fresh and on its way out.
Now, did
Well,
you
yeah,
get
'cause
that
they're
from your
dropping.
garden, Cheryl?
Yeah, but I just wanted to use it because it's such a, oh yeah, I have lots of stuff. This is a beautiful tree now. So I just carefully put that in there. So now we've got that going. I'm not gonna put any of my dried weed yet because Leanne had brought all these beautiful flowers, so I want to do some of those. So you just want things to be evenly all the way around, you know, just start on one side. Okay, I've got 5 of these and 6 of these, and just put them around in your arrangement a little bit evenly. It doesn't have to be perfect because I'm not a florist.
Sometimes it helps to use a toothpick or a skewer to make the hole in the foam
If
and
it-
then to insert the stem if you've got a thin or weak stem.
Yeah. And
Otherwise, you end up with poor
Yeah.
broken stems that you
Yeah.
can't
and
use.
these are real stiff, so these are easy.
Yeah, mums are great.
And mums last forever. Mums and carnations, they're gonna get more bang for your buck on those.
Yep.
So if they cost a little more, it's worth it because they'll last forever. Now it's looking like polka dots.
And you'll that.
Yeah.
And while Cheryl is working, I'm just going to let you know,
Okay, you're making another one.
I am making another one, but it's already just about made. And this is similar form. It's in a sort of pewtery container. And I've cut a whole lot of succulents from my garden, quite a range, a lot of the echeverias, so lots of rosettes, but some of what Cheryl called the pork and beans, which when they're starting to freeze at all, get a great color, and hers are more colorful than mine. And then some nice spiky guys, but it goes all the way around. And what is so cool about this, and it's really beautiful, and then after the holidays, however long you want to keep this, just pull them all out and put them back in the planting medium, cactus mix or whatever, so you don't ever lose them. They really do keep on giving up, and they don't love being tipped over. So now I'm going to add a little bit of fall color to this as well. And I have some dogwood leaves from my yard. And some of them I had to trim because the frost bit it. So some of the leaves were a little bit burned by frost.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Certainly.
Do you add water to the oasis from
Well-
eventually?
Sure, you can.
Feet carefully over the sink.
Yeah.
With this one here, over the sink, don't do it on your table because it could spill over, because there are some little holey on the edges, so you can feel how deep the water's getting. And then you know when to stop.
And are you not going to put that oasis in a container? You're just going to leave it like that or put it on a tray?
It's
They're
in a-
both in
there is
containers.
in a container.
Oh, yours? Oh, okay. I didn't see the other container.
Container like this. This is a
Okay.
green container, probably that's why.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
this fits almost, you could put a whole brick in here, but to me, it makes it made it a little bit too tall. So I cut a little bit of it off, but usually we'll take one.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
I have a question too.
sure.
Susan, what did you say about the oasis the succulents getting frozen?
No, I
What do
was
you do
saying
with them?
some of the dogwood leaves got a little frost bite, and so I trimmed them.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the
Well,
succulents.
the succulents
getting
are
frozen.
well defended in the garden and don't seem to freeze. And what I was saying is
Okay.
after you've decided you've had this long enough, you can just pull all the pieces out and plant them.
Yeah.
Put them
Oh,
back where
okay.
you took them.
Yeah. If I have to do arrangements for a club or whatever, who wanted me to do things, if there's something I'm going to give away, I love to put things, different scented geraniums for greenery. Succulents are fine because whoever took this can start these pork and beans.
Right.
Yeah, so that's done. That's it. So
That's-
your
Beautiful.
Thanksgiving theme is yellow and orange.
And Stephen and
Beautiful.
too.
Yeah,
And these Nandina, I just made smaller because the design doesn't call for such big pieces. This is a more
some
compact
Nandina is
design.
even bigger than this. Yeah.
They're
Anyway.
both really nice.
So
Mm.
it's like over there.
Something we can do.
Yes, and you know what? Can I just say something real quick? Because I thought about this. This could have been a really fun workshop. We could tell you what to have available while you're working on, I'm working on ours, showing you what to do, and you can do yours at home, and you'd have your table direct. So maybe sometime.
Next year.
Next
Yeah.
year.
No, we're gonna be
No.
live next year.
That's right. Absolutely.
Look
Okay.
at, she's adding these wonderful little beads. Tell them what
So
you're doing.
these are Nandina berries. And they just bring out more of that fall color. I'm gonna show it. There.
Nice.
That helps.
Those.
It's just more from the Nandina, the heavenly bamboo.
Oh, okay.
So I have one that I think birds planted, both of them. I have two. I pull up the little oak seedlings, but others get to stay put. So that's probably enough.
Beautiful.
We're moving on to Christmas now.
That's beautiful. Do a turnaround.
It is beautiful. You make it look so easy.
It is so easy.
Very beautiful.
You just get a billion, and it turned out, I mean, I had enough in the yard, and as I said, I can plant everybody afterwards, so you're not sacrificing your succulents.
What color Oasis did you use?
I used green,
The dark green?
dark green. The black is great. It's almost black. It's sort of a dark gray. It's wonderful, but I had the green, so I didn't use it. The black would be perfect in this container because it would be more easily hidden.
And tell them where you got the container.
The container came from Tina Hittenberger's mother's collection of
Aw,
Isn't that great? Don't mention it.
no, but it's really, it's a copper that's turned sort of verdigris.
It's a good Goodwill item. So if you see them in Goodwill, get them.
Oh, yeah. Or free on the street, the way the copper was.
Look at that. Free. Okay, so who's up next?
Well, Cheryl's gotten started and I'll work
Okay,
along the side.
I'm in my Santa mode. How does he look? Yeah?
lovely.
Mine isn't so lovely, but it's a reindeer. It just looks like a muffin, but it's a reindeer.
We need a picture of you with that hat on.
Yeah.
Please, somebody. I don't know how to do it.
Okay,
Well, Cheryl gave this to me at some other program and I managed not to lose it.
And know where to find it.
okay.
Okay, so now we got Cheryl.
I'm gonna make you a little something. How come you have to be like way there?
Because they can see it.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
then-
So tell them what you did to the
Okay.
erase.
Great glass square container, heavy, $1 at the dollar store. You can't beat $1. And then I cheated and these are like 2, but it'll
And I
work.
notice it's above.
Hmm?
It's above.
Why
the
do you think
Oasis
it's,
above.
you see why it's above?
Yes, I know.
You don't have me
The
there,
viewing audience.
up a little bit.
I have you there.
Yeah, you're there.
Okay, but see
Tilted,
that?
yeah.
If you had that thing cut straight across at the top of the glass, it would be like this. So make your Oasis above the container, please.
Yep.
Mm.
Make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah?
Someone once said that if you, it's useful to have at least 3 different leaf forms when you're designing with the foliage because it's more interesting. And if you have 9 pieces of each for something this size, you'll have a good full amount. You have something for every side, something for every corner, and something for the top, and that makes 9.
Yeah.
The foil, well, what I've done as it happens, I have 1 container and then foil, which is actually insulated stuff that came from some vegetable delivery. And then inside it, a second container, because I didn't want to have the Oasis showing because my design is going to be up above the silver.
So
This
you
is
put it on
redwood, by the
bottom.
way. This is redwood. I have 4 100-foot trees, so if you need any, it makes great plant material. Okay, this is that.
Pine cones too.
Now,
Well,
wait,
not
now
really
we'll get to
redwood.
there, we'll get
Oh,
to there.
redwood. Doesn't have pine cones?
Eucalyptus,
Puny little thing.
so many different varieties. Actually, we have 3 varieties tonight. Because we have those, I'll show you a smaller one, and Susan has a $1 one. And those are pretty cool too.
And
Smells good.
before I cannibalize this, which was
Oh,
a
here we go.
was brought by Renan, Cheryl suggested showing you that if you turn just a bunch of greens upside down, put a bow and hang it at your doorway at your home, you
Just
have a
wad it up,
swag.
yeah, tie it, put it on a hanger, because then you've got your little hook to it. And then you can decorate it. But look at all the pretty stuff, the different things you can have in there. You can
'Cause,
also,
again,
you
you've got
know,
these
and you can
different
also put
forms.
redwood, pine, And a grouping, grays and gray greens and green greens look really pretty together.
With a silver bow, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's much simpler than making a wreath.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and I'm using pittosporum too, because this is pretty nice stuff too. Green that lasts forever. You know, if you're playing around with stuff from your garden, if you want to make sure that it'll hold up or not, cut it the day before. Then if it's all folded up the next day, you know it isn't going to work. But if it holds up good, then you know. Practice.
And generally, when you're cutting, you should cut early in the morning or at the end of the day during the summertime in any case, because plants will be fresher, then the material will have taken on more water, and then you put it in the water.
Yeah.
A lot of cutting that you do with roses, for example, you can cut, put them all in a cute basket, take them in, then you're going to cut them again underwater and put them in warm to hot water to rehydrate. That's roses.
And here's some holly. I'm putting some holly in here. That's my last step. See all the different textures of things that I'm using in here? Doesn't that make that looks a lot more interesting than just a couple? This is my holly. Holly's a nice thing to have in your garden because it's always green and you really don't have to do anything to it.
Lynn, can you lower the camera? I'm seeing, yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, now. Took all these little balls and I glued them together. I glued them together. These are just little, no, because they could break. I glued them together to make a bigger
Form.
ornament, you know, because I'm not going to put any flowers in here. This is just going to get little blue things. And individually, they're too small. So I glued them together to make them bigger.
What kind of glue do you use to glue those together?
Hot glue. Hot glue, and don't burn your fingers. Okay, now, if you have a longer table, well, I didn't put in for my little pine cones, but you could put pine cones too. You wanted your table to be a little longer, then you could make some smaller ones. So can you see that? I added these two. These are also $1 at the dollar store, and they are just a little bit smaller. So these, you could put these down your table. You want to put votives in between or whatever, and so you've got, can you see that? Hello?
It's hard, they're
Oh.
muted, and it's because of the black, it's hard to see. But
Yeah,
Well, that's a nice view. That shows everything. Thank you.
yeah. So that way you can spread down your table, or you can make a whole bunch of little ones. If your table's really, really long and narrow, you don't have a lot of room, make some little ones.
Make one for every guest and they can take them home.
There you go.
That's lovely.
It's only $1 at the dollar store.
Dan has found a new workout routine, and that is manually wandering around with the laptop as camera woman.
Okay. Now, let's see.
Well, that's a good deal.
Yeah, this is, well, you know, learning by doing. Thank goodness, Lynn. Lynn also provided dinner.
Yeah.
Bless her heart. My husband said, well, is this a dinner? And I said, no, we can't have large groups gathering. It's not a dinner. I'll just eat when I get home. So he'll feel much better when he learns that I had chicken salad.
Got to take care of our presenters.
Really nice. So I chose this to do right when Cheryl was doing hers because we were using similar colors and materials in a slightly different way. And therefore, I have blue ornaments as well, but these are on little picks. And you can buy a whole bunch of the picks.
Oh, yeah.
And somewhere back here, I have them, but not where I can find them. But they come in a huge collection, all rubber banded together, and you can just pull them out one at a time, and each is wired. And all you do is thread the wire through the end of the ornament, and then twirl the pick with one hand and wrap the wire with the other. You don't have to wind and wind. It finally occurred to me this time that that would be a good technique. Can't tell you how many years that took, but I'll pass it along to you. But blue and silver, and this gray is so silvery, it just is really pretty. Now, if I had been smart, I would have used some skewers, so these guys would be a little higher.
You could use chopsticks.
You
too.
could use chopsticks
Spray them.
and even
You
spray.
can paint anything.
Yeah, it's great. I used to travel with a small can of flat black for emergencies. Shoe polish will take care of broken branches and or marking pens
Dirt.
will too, or dirt.
Dirt.
Just rub a little mud on the end of a broken branch if you've got dried material that isn't behaving. Some of it's very brittle. Now, I may do something else with this. Sort of the Victorian approach, too much is just right. I don't think I'm going to use the ribbon, but I might use these guys. I especially might use them if I could find the clippers. So this is agapanthus. It's gotten very friendly with each other. This is just dried agapanthus, and I've spray painted it silver some time ago, and then noticed that they were in my basement with a whole lot of other stuff. So I thought, oh, good, I'll add them with my insulation silver. And, you know, it's kind of a discovery tour in the basement. The only trouble is the basement I have counted is 49 steps from the street. So doing this times 5 or 6 designs is a lot of hiking back and forth. It's 100 steps per round trip. So you don't have to take a lot of walks on days you're doing this. Yes, if I had a wheelbarrow, that would be.
I mean, couldn't do steps though.
And then we might add some lights. Well, lights. First, we're going to just have sparkly stars because here they are. And then we do have lights as well. I'll add them in a minute. So
Everyone can do this.
everyone can do this.
Everyone.
If I can, anyone can.
And it's nice to watch it done when you learn, when you watch.
And I thought about trying to untangle this wire, and then I decided not to bother. So it's
Anything goes?
anything goes, and I just cut it instead of fighting with it.
You're too picky and you want to untangle it, go have at it.
I just get lazy. Does anybody hear voices? There's somebody outside. Okay, I'm going to add some lights while Cheryl has
Okay.
moved on to
I
another.
have a question.
Oh,
We have a
sure.
question.
Yes.
I have a question. The agapanthus, once you spray paint, does it kind of just preserve where it was at the time you spray painted it, so it's not going to deconstruct from that point forward?
Right, it's very, very firm. And it's good to use the paint that you can get at Sequoia or other craft stores, because it's called Design Master. I think it's designed for painting plant material.
Oh, okay.
But I have used Rust-Oleum.
Yeah.
Don't really recommend it.
Here's another berry. It's dark green and a little smaller leaf, and it gets some berries on it, but sometimes berries are hard to work with because they're generally down at the bottom. So I like to just use the leaves. Okay, what I'm gonna do with this is some more ornaments with little pokies on them. Also, what I've done for this one too, magnolia leaves. I sprayed them silver.
And I know where there's a huge magnolia tree. Right outside the women's club.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't ever have a tree. They're absolutely gorgeous, but they drop leaves every day.
It's nice to have somebody else's magnolia.
Yeah. Yeah, and then these just poke right in the chloroform.
Sorry.
So this would last a really long time. This will be nice even still for Christmas, this one, because all this plant material is very fresh. And you don't have to worry about anything happening to the balls.
Because they're plastic.
Yep. And they're stuck in.
And you can get ivory just about anywhere around here, huh?
What?
Yeah.
You have to cut it, though. You can't
What?
snip it. I mean, like, break it.
What?
Ivy.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's good to cut.
It's good to keep clippers in your car.
yeah.
Oh, the serious person always has clippers in the car. So here, this guy is lighted. If you want.
Oh, okay. I'm going over here.
Ooh, that's so pretty.
Ooh.
So Happy
so
New Year,
cute.
even possibly.
Yes.
Now that's a mini lights. Those are like
Yeah.
tiny mini
Yeah.
lights, but it adds so much light with
Doesn't
the
it?
silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a cold white, which is why I chose it to go with blue and silver and gray.
Cool white and warm white, right?
And we got warm white coming up.
That's lovely. Look at that.
I love the agapanthus. It looks so good.
It's a lot of fun.
Mm.
And we have a volunteer agapanthus in our yard. I guess birds planted it, and it's multiplying, and it's growing in rocks or something. I'm going to move this someplace.
Okay, I'm going over to Cheryl now.
I didn't put a pick or anything on these because I don't have to transport it anywhere, because a lot of times if you have to take it, you have to make sure not everything starts falling out. So I'm just going to tuck these in wherever, because I just want that smooth texture in here, because everything else is kind of fussy up
Oh,
a
that's
little
so
bit.
pretty.
Cheryl, what is your base?
It's the same what I showed you with the Oasis in the green plastic.
Where do you get those?
You could get those at Sequoia.
Is it this form or is it the long one?
Oh, no, it's the green one. It's like this green, only this one's round and that one's oblong.
So it's
And
just the
just-
same as she was using with her
Yeah.
fall design.
Yeah, you just put a chunk of,
This is another Sequoia container, which is just a circle of black, and they come in green as well. They're very inexpensive. With
So
the
like
whole-
50 cents.
Yeah, like
What?
under
Yeah.
$1, I think. So Sequoia Floral,
It's
It's-
on Santa Rosa Avenue,
near the adult movie store,
right after it.
down the street from a pretty good cannabis store.
Well, we are learning a lot about you, Susan.
And lots of tile stores and a Shell gas station and whatever.
Sorry. Okay, so I think I'm going to try it back at the table. I'm going back to the table for a moment.
You know, what's also nice is you're showing lower designs, which are nice for when you can have gatherings and actually look across the table, but have a nice arrangement in the middle.
Yeah.
Right, that's the plan. Yeah, you don't want your centerpiece to be any higher than from your elbow to your wrist.
Oh,
That's your
Okay.
altitude requirement. Now, thanks to Lynanne, who I want you to know did put rosebuds in the ladies' room, in the bathroom. There are flowers in each of the bathrooms.
Real ones?
Yeah.
4?
The rose, I didn't see the orchid. Oh, the orchids are near the sink. Roses
what?
are on the loo in the bathroom.
For tonight?
Yep. So I meant
So
to
you have
bring,
take a little tour through there, or what's the deal?
well, if you use the bathroom, you might notice the flower on the vase.
I actually didn't do that. I did the orchids, but not the roses.
I wonder who did that.
Must be Leslie Boy, you know her. She's always doing something here. Or Lynn Grosser.
Well, somebody did. So I meant to bring cranberries, but they're at home, several bags of them. Because this again is a container inside a container. There are two, and you'll just have to trust me because Lynanne is too tired to have to keep holding the
Okay, that's
lid.
it. I'm getting up again.
You could probably put that next to us.
What?
The tall table.
Okay, yeah, well, it didn't work last time.
Mm.
tried.
So instead of cranberries, I'm loading this with roses because again, I've got a container and another container with the design going up here.
That's really cool. So she's got a circle, a large circle glass, and then a smaller circle glass that's a little higher than the inner circle.
Right, and
That's
the oasis isn't going all the way down. Oh, yes, it is, but it
It
might
is.
not. It can adjust if it knows what's good for it. So I'm doing terrible.
Uh-oh.
Oops, we just
Uh-oh.
lost everybody.
Uh-oh.
uh-oh.
Flying blind, we're flying on instruments now.
I want this to be
Do
a
you want-
aha moment.
Hold on, we're having some internet things going on here.
Careful, because your cord is compromised.
Okay, so let's see. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, I want an aha moment. Are you ready?
So you might have to come back.
Okay.
Go
Are you
forward.
there?
Coming back.
See there?
Ah,
There are Cheryl's cold
Look at
lights.
that.
Oh,
babe.
See how
Isn't
we
that
just tuck
wonderful?
this in here?
Yes, beautiful.
Stunning, we can all do this.
Yes, that's what we're here for.
That's great. Gorgeous vase.
Michael's has a lot of clear things. Michael.
so
But-
Cheryl, another question. The vase that you've just lit up, did you acquire that at Sequoia 2 or thrift shop? Or
Oh, Lord.
Oh, you can get a lot of stuff at Sequoia, anything. Michael's has a lot of stuff too, though.
I
Did you
can't
break it?
believe it. No.
Yeah, how many times that light's fallen over?
Well, and every time you do this, you twist it and it is sort of breaking, but this, it keeps wrapping around. Cake takes a licking and keeps on ticking. If you lift it up, I'm going to wind it back. So it'll give you some more rope, as it were. Okay.
Technical difficulties.
Holy Lord.
Solo tech.
It's a lot faster with cranberries because you can just pour them out of the bag.
That's really cool how she's loading roses into the outside of the inner, there's an inner glass and then the outside of the outer glass. It's really nice because she forgot her cranberries, so now she's doing
Using
Red
Lynanne's
roses.
red roses.
They're
Otherwise,
yours now.
they'd be jettisoned. And I thought about running out, and I'm going to, so I'm going to make space for a different color in here.
You're adapting as a
I'm
florist.
adapting. So much of life depends on the success of Plan B.
I like that. Would somebody write that down? I need to post that on our Facebook page.
I didn't make it up, but
I'm planning on it.
I'm planning on it.
Yeah.
Good one,
Tell me
Susan.
what she said again so I can write it down.
was so much in life depends on the success of Plan B. Something like that.
Susan Coolidge.
Yeah.
I saw it on somebody's mailbox or porch sign or something.
I know,
read it somewhere.
you get this Facebook stuff and then you stop remembering who you got it from.
I don't remember anything I saw on the computer. I mean, I do not remember sources on the computer. A printed page I can do, not
You're
flicker-
dating yourself, Susan.
not flickering
Okay, so
print.
let's move over here
No,
to
I use the
Cheryl.
computer, I
making
just
a
don't
round
remember
one.
anything.
Cheryl's making a round one.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you guys, because you just need to know this. I hate making these. I do. I hate it because if I make an arrangement for the table, which I will for Christmas and Thanksgiving and that, every time I gotta walk by, I gotta fuss with it. Because it's just quite right. I'm much better off with asymmetrical. So you guys appreciate us because I hate this.
Yes, we
This
got
is
it.
fussy. This is fussy stuff.
We really like working together though, so that helps.
And
Good
it's you
partnership.
guys. You guys are the best. You guys are a great audience and it's fine.
So
After one night, I can do this one time and it's over.
neither will I ever make a float for the Rose Parade. I kind of know that. Man. Lynn got all of these flowers. She took the leaves off. She put them in quick dip. She's hydrated them. And now the poor things are getting their heads.
And you're going to
cut
take them home. They have another life.
off. Lord help us.
Generally, if we were doing this, if you all were here,
You might be taking
physically,
some home.
yeah, you'd take these home.
Isn't that sweet?
Well. you
It's
know,
a beautiful thing to give a gift of an arrangement.
Absolutely.
I love
Yeah.
doing that. I do.
Especially if you can't do it yourself, very good, you know, you're not talented enough.
You just have to watch this
They
video.
just have to
Yeah.
learn, right?
Okay, now I have.
Oh,
some
I like
red-
what you're doing. You've got the roses lined up.
Yeah.
I'll be right over there, Cheryl. But
I
look
have
at that.
some red ones.
I'm gonna wait. Hold on. I want to hold on, Cheryl. But look at this. She's done the roses here, and now she's adding the
Now I'm going
topper. She's going up. That's
Well, otherwise
really
it's just a
lovely.
pavé design, which
Oh,
is.
Lovely.
duties.
That's lovely. Well, hold on.
So I have a question. Are each of you self-taught? Where did you gain your experience at this?
Oh, well, we're both.
Each of you.
We're both master flower show judges, and we've studied horticulture and design.
Wow.
We've done a lot with flower shows, and as I said, Cheryl and I, to a degree, have both taught at the Organization of Floral Artistry Designers, which is an annual seminar in South San Francisco. But Cheryl's been making designs.
Well, I started
long
Petaluma
time
Garden Club about 32 years ago, and we used to have a flower show every year, and that got me going. I love to compete. Oops.
Can't help you.
So then it's, so we
Why I
enter,
got to put things on these.
we enter at fairs and give a lot of programs.
Yeah.
Isn't
And
that fascinating? We had two master florists in the
No,
flower design.
No.
Creative
Creative.
design.
Creative design.
Creative design.
we're not florists.
Okay, sorry.
Some people, I mean, you can take courses in floristry at the JC, but I never have. And that's
That's different. That's this.
That's
stuff.
more of
That's
this
these
stuff.
roundy mounties.
the roundy moundy, the ring around the rosy, one woman calls it. So, because it makes it interesting for us if we can do things like stuff a container full of rose buds and.
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm gonna go, that's beautiful. Are you done? Or are we gonna come back to you, Susan?
Oh, we're tying in the roses with some
Or ornaments that are on stick
Ornaments.
picks.
On stick picks.
And I forgot to put them on these. I don't know. why.
Don't be doing it so fast, Cheryl. I'm
I
coming
had
over to
too
you
much
soon.
time. Well, this is why I'm gonna need my little table, so I'm just forgetting for just a minute.
Okay. It's nice how you brought the color back up.
Oh, that is so pretty.
And we all have ornaments.
And
We all
these
have
are
that.
unbreakable plastic ornaments, so when you're
Okay.
clumsy like I
So we
am,
could start with, we could show this.
Okay, so good. I'll
Okay.
come back to you. Are you
come back
done?
to me, close
Okay,
enough.
Close enough.
You're roving
I'm
reporter.
traveling.
I
with
have
the
to go
lights.
to a little lower level because I'm only 5'2.5". And this guy's a little top heavy, so I'll be back. And I'll show you what we're gonna do here.
What would you like me to do?
Huh?
You're gonna show that. So tell us about this one.
Yeah, this is magnolia also, just because, see, it looks nice with a little smoother material in it, because everything is pointy and spiky and bumpy, and they've got something smooth that really makes it look, so those are magnolia
Oh,
leaves
that's a good
also.
combination with the ivy. And then this is the magnolia?
Yeah,
Is this the real or did you spray it?
have you ever seen a red magnolia leaf?
No.
Oh,
It's
I guess- oh, spray can,
Oh, she's
spray can.
sassy.
Never saw
Hey, you can paint
it.
anything. You can paint any, as long as the material is dry.
You can paint anything, but you have to use plant paint, right? Not
It's-
acid paint.
It's best to use the
Uh-oh. see,
Does
I did
the
the wrong
color-
thing.
master or whatever, design master paints.
Design master.
And if you
paints.
go to Sequoia, they have an array of paint, and plus they have paints that make something look like granite,
Ooh.
in case you need something to look
A
like
rock.
granite.
Okay, something happened here, Susan. We kind of blew it. I usually use a smaller hole. Because this one,
Oh, this is what she's doing. Oh, okay, so I have to go.
but I can't,
Okay, so the idea was
Okay,
to
maybe I
do
can.
talk about the column. Where'd you get that base? That is gorgeous. That tall
I don't know.
base.
Oh,
People give things to
Can't help with the
Cheryl,
balls. I
Yeah.
don't have any helper here.
as it were.
it needs to go there.
I didn't.
No, you didn't.
must
You
have.
almost did.
Okay, let's see if I can, you know what we can do? We can just leave this on this little table and then you can come over here, huh?
Okay, here
Where
I
did I
come.
get
Okay,
them?
wait a
Where I
minute.
come.
Okay,
Don't come
we
yet.
got all
Where?
your
I think we
equipment.
got this.
Don't come yet in case it falls
Uh-oh,
apart.
I'm on my way.
Okay.
Can't stop the train. Okay, so now look at this gorgeous vase that she put lights in it and ornaments.
Okay, and the reason that I
That's so
make it
cool.
be, you know what? Susan, will you hold this just for a minute? Because it may string the
Yes,
lights, because
indeed.
otherwise it's gonna fall over in the, if I don't want to move
That's
it.
stunning.
I like to put clear balls in there every now and then, because then if you had a darker background and you could see through, it looks like some of the balls are floating.
mm.
Make sense?
Well, we'll see when you turn the light on.
Okay. Well, light doesn't have anything to do with it.
Oh.
It's
Correction.
It's the clear. You know, some of
We
these
love our
lights,
Cheryl.
some of these lights come in like 100, so they're like long.
Yes,
So
more than you expected.
you got to stick your arm down in that container too to get the stuff going down at the bottom. So these are our mechanics.
Mechanics,
Yeah, mechanics are the work you put into to make all your stuff stay.
like paint, Oasis,
Yeah,
Pin frog.
falling balls.
pin tips, rolling. balls.
Magnolia leaves,
The what?
Yep,
magnolia leaves.
magnolia
Painted.
leaves. Well, they're not really mechanics, but they're certainly,
Mechanics is what holds your thing together.
Mechanics
Oh, okay.
holds it
So-
all together.
right now, I'm part of the mechanics.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay, there you go.
Woo-hoo.
Oh, look how cute. I just
Never stay.
I just love that. That
This-
is stunning.
I do have a few more things that I could have added, but because
This
of my
is her
mechanics,
fussy.
this is called weeping blue juniper, and if you want a cool tree,
Yeah.
this is it.
Can I
And
just
they-
throw that in the ground and it'll root?
No,
No.
this grows straight down, so it's
Oh.
gorgeous. So I would put some of these in there, not quite as long, but these look pretty draped down. But
Yeah, on one side?
No, I would make it go all the way around. This would be a fun thing to have like on a buffet table, you know, not a centerpiece.
I mean, that's something we can all be inspired to play around with our old ornaments that we're not gonna put on our tree because they're so, yesterday.
Yeah, okay, I have one more to do.
Wow.
And stay there.
Stunning. And that vase you got where and how?
I don't
much?
know. I don't know.
Here's this baby.
I've never seen one of those at Goodwill.
No.
Wait, I have to take the light and the speaker with me.
Oh dear.
Hold door. Okay, coming over. Coming over. Oh my goodness, look at the color and the lights and the,
So it's kind of
with
odd,
the
but
foundation. Oh, the roses. That's the one
There
with
are
the
the roses.
roses. And do you put water in that for the roses to stay?
Well, normally it's cranberries that don't care. And I don't know how much roses love being underwater completely.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Now this is very compact and you might if you were doing this, you might just as soon have some more
But
agapanthus.
look at these beads. Do you see these beads? There's little beads in here and ivy and pittosporum and then,
And then the pittosporum is the beads.
oh, it is the beads.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
their little fruits.
That's adorable.
Well, it's sort of like a too much hat, but anyway.
You said it was Victorian, right?
Anytime too much is
much
just
hat?
right is Victorian.
Oh,
And it decided to turn off. What's that about? There.
well, this can maybe show me what I'm starting
I'm
out
going
with.
back over here. Cheryl wants the attention now. Hold
Well,
on.
no, I just want to show you what I'm starting with. If you could go back farther, because
Okay.
this is tall.
I'm moving back.
Okay, don't fall. Don't trip on it.
Woo! Oh, it's just,
Whoops.
it's the stand on the table. Okay. Everything is, what is it, the term, jerry rig? We're doing Zoom.
Can you see
Third
the
arm.
top of this?
Okay, so let's
Can you
see.
see the top of this is like way up here?
Wow.
Okay, what I do to that, obviously, I hot glue these
Would
little
you
babies.
tell them what it is
It's
first?
a
'Cause
big piece of wood, driftwood that came from the
oh,
Trinity
here's the
River.
stand, honey. Can you get the?
And it's stuck, it's onto my pole. See this pole? That's what's holding that up.
There's it's kind of, I want to.
It's a big wooden pole.
Cheryl, hold on a second, because it's a huge, I want to show the actual architecture of what you're.
It's my
talking
favorite piece of wood.
about. It's a piece of wood
Mhm.
that.
And if you hot glue things to it and you can't get the hot glue off, all you have to do is paint it.
This is a piece of driftwood?
This is a piece
or-
of driftwood that's mounted on this
Whoa.
pole.
And it's mounted on the pole with a pole,
And
with
now,
on the circle
and
with
now
a
I'm
pole.
gonna decorate it a little bit.
So let's just, kind of show off this a little bit.
Yeah, oh, I
before you
know, I
dig
know.
into
This
decorating.
is my favorite. I've done this, so many things to this.
That is so cool. Okay, so when we find driftwood, now there's a bunch of driftwood on here?
Where?
Or one?
piece.
That's
Is
one
this
piece.
one piece of
Yeah.
It's
driftwood?
illegal to take it from the.
But my
Trinity.
cousins live right
Yeah.
there, so
So
it's
nobody
not like I
knows.
stopped on the side
It's
of the
pretty
road.
tall. I mean, that is 5 feet tall.
Yeah, it'd be good like
No.
next to the fireplace or
Might be
out by
3
the front
feet.
door. Can
That's
I-
so cute.
Okay, now that, but I'm not done yet. I gotta
Okay, well,
fix- I gotta
well, okay.
I gotta fix this.
She has
I
to keep
gotta-
fussing.
I gotta make it pretty.
She gotta be pretty.
Yeah. And I made it all the way here from my house, because some of you know where I live, without popping off a ball.
It sat on the floor of the passenger's side.
That's right.
One time I drove all the way to Sacramento with a huge cut artichoke leaves, huge, which I was taking to Sacramento to a designing group there to give a program. So I drove all the way to Sacramento with this thing that I'd conditioned it overnight. Oops. And it turns out you can't really condition artichoke leaves. And it was hanging by the end of the day. So that's the reason to price
right?
the artichoke leaves. Would have to wait till they dried before I could spray it. It was just a big cut leaf, huge. I mean, it must have been 5 or 6. It was huge. And it would have been a great thing to have, except they don't condition. Not all cut plant material will condition.
Did you put it in water?
That's what the conditioning part was. I had it in water its entire career, but it wasn't enough.
Wow, okay, that is pretty well. I have to go back.
Oh, no.
Go back to my desk.
Lynn Ann, we're losing the sound. I can't hear it very well anymore.
No, me either.
Oh, I
Well,
thought.
the sound is this microphone and they have the sound. And then when I walk away, I'm behind the sound. So just FYI.
Thank you.
And now we're not talking much.
Well, I will say, I don't think that you were very honest with us because I don't think I could do that if I tried. I am not, and not got a creative bone in my body. And what you're doing is absolutely beautiful.
That's how we should
I
have.
love it.
Well, you've got some Christmas ornaments and some round vases and you buy a bunch of lights, you're done.
I think these clear vases look pretty with just lights in them.
I'm with you, Melanie.
See how these ones blink in this tall one? And a lot of them do different little, fun little
Different
things.
tricks.
Now
I do like the lights very much in the glass vases. That's really pretty.
with the ornaments.
And yeah, what you do is you start with the an ornament, then you drip down a little bit of the lights and then some more ornaments and then the lights, and just keep coming up like any kind of, lasagna, any casserole. Just
Oh, now I can make a lasagna.
so
I was
That's
thinking
step one.
my
parfait.
husband.
Wait, say again?
I was thinking it was sort of a decorative parfait between the lights and the.
Yes,
Yeah.
excellent. Instead of yogurt and granola.
I feel like I'm watching I Love Lucy here.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank
We're
you.
having fun.
I have never applied wallpaper because of an I Love Lucy episode. I think Ethel got plastered to the wallpaper to a wall. I thought,
This is just
doing that.
hysterical.
So you weren't inspired by It's a Wonderful Life?
No,
Not
Me
horticulturally.
neither.
not horticulturally anyway. So here's some more pittosporum. So this is just another theme and variation with what Cheryl was doing. Our headpieces lose their feathers everywhere. I mean, something else lost its
lost my
feathers
balls.
first. You lost your balls.
Which one of you is Lucy and which one of you is Ethel? That's all I need to
I
know.
don't know. It's a toss up.
I'm Lucy and she's Ethel because
Yeah.
I'm dumber.
Oh,
Oh,
In this area, I'm more likely to mess up.
I just, my balls went flying around, so
That's
I could
true.
mess up too.
Well, you just seem more grounded.
so Susan, tell us what you're doing.
Well, I am putting a whole lot of material in a piece of Oasis. Again, this could be for a long centerpiece. And I was thinking if I were to add lights, there's actually room at the end of, I don't know what this was initially. I painted it this color black, but it's not plastic and it's not the length of an Oasis brick. So I'm not sure. But again, I forgot to use it somewhere else, but my Meyer lemon, I carefully cut tips which did not have buds nor fruit. And so I felt I wasn't sacrificing anything from this current crop anyway. But lemon is another evergreen, if you notice in your yard.
Yeah.
And it's a
That's nice.
really pretty form.
Same with the camellia. Camellia.
Yes.
plant,
camellias are pretty.
And
real
it's
dark
just,
and shiny.
again, so this has some ivy sticking out the ends to just extend it. It's not very well behaved
Where'd you
ivy.
get the ivy?
This ivy came from a fence in my yard, but there was better ivy in the telephone alley. It's right across the street from me.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You can always go to your neighbors if they have cool stuff. Moonlight or whatever.
Really
it
early
takes.
in the morning or,
Yeah. Dark, bring a flashlight,
you know,
pair of clippers.
ask forgiveness instead of permission and so forth.
Or make them an arrangement.
Oh, yes.
So here's my,
Oh.
Big guy.
Look at,
Oh,
look at that. Those are great ornaments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big, we're big.
Well,
Big, you need the scale.
see what, I'll tell you what happens though. When you have the little snowmen, can you see the little snowmen? There's a couple snowmen. They have to hang that way. You can't just glue them. So their little top guy has to kind of show. But I figured, what the heck, I don't care. You don't care where the little top knot is,
I'll come up.
Oh, yeah,
the hanger. But
right.
the snowmen are kind of cute because you can get them standing up instead of standing on
This
their
one here?
heads.
Oh, the snowman ornaments.
Yeah,
okay.
there's two of them.
And this one.
Yeah.
This is huge. I want to make one of those.
There you go.
Look at that.
Weeping blue juniper and redwood.
She says she's done it a million times. She's
Well,
done
I've done a lot of different things to it. You know, that's what's nice about that piece.
So you can hack the glue off somehow and.
So you don't have to hack it off, even just paint it. This is
Got a few layers.
canyon brown or something. Just have a can handy. If you can't pick it off, you spray it. A little more texture to the wood. Okay, well, I'm DONE.
He's DONE, and I'm gonna decide I'm about DONE.
I don't even know what time it is. Can somebody give me a time
It's
check?
7:45. It's time. 7:45.
Well, that wasn't too.
Roll the credits, you guys.
So roll the credits. I love the lemon leaf.
Yeah.
You know, the salal is a real popular leaf that they use in
Oh, sure,
Portland and Washington. And I tried to order it. And so I couldn't order it anywhere around here. So my girlfriend bought it in Washington when she flew down, put it in her suitcase and brought it to me for my birthday.
So you want some of this pine material?
Yes.
Oh, and here is what I was telling you about. This is what those picks look like. They come all together in a little top knot of wire, and every one is already pre-threaded with wire. And this is old and rusty, but it still holds up. And so you just pull them out of the whole rubber banded thing. And with luck, it'll cooperate. Then you have the wire. You'll just have to believe me that there's a wire. And you can thread the wire through the ornament here. Now, threading it through the top of the ornament. First try.
They have them at Michael's too.
Yeah.
And then
Sequoia has a
it's just, this is the fun part.
5
So
million.
you're holding the pick up and the wire in the other hand, and you just twirl the pick and the wire wraps around it without you working very hard. I actually was listening to the San Rosa Symphony's performance for a second time the other day and doing this, and I finished before the whole thing started because it was 15 minutes of it's not starting yet, and by the time it had done, I was done. So then you have it.
Yep. And it won't fall out of your arrangement.
And you could also be using that to make all sorts of other more formal things.
Put it in your swag.
Put it on your swag.
Yeah.
You could be
that you learned how to make.
Twisting your flowers and poking them into something where if you had a little bunch of freesia or something that wasn't a very strong form by itself, you could wire a bunch together with the pick and put them in.
So you have a little grouping of freesias instead of one little stem. Makes it look like what? A bigger flower.
A mass flower.
Yeah, bigger.
So they're giving away their tricks.
Well,
That's the
that's
idea.
what we're here for.
Okay, so you guys, how you doing? Closing statements, any last questions?
If you try this at home, feel free to call either of us. You get stuck.
I remember I have redwood trees.
I thought that they they got inspired to do some arrangements and then took a picture and posted it on our PWC Facebook page.
And even if you're not having a Thanksgiving or Christmas party this year, you could pretend.
Make one and give it away.
Right.
Good one, make one for your neighbor.
Make one for the neighbor whose tree you keep stealing pieces of.
Would you two lovely ladies stand together with one of your or two of your things so I can take a nice picture? I've been taking pictures,
Oh, thank you.
but you know, you're moving and stuff. So
We are.
I just wanted one nice one. Yes, of course, with the hat on, Cheryl.
Yeah,
That's
well, Santa got hung up in my flowers over here. So
Where are your masks?
here's one right here.
Yes.
oh my God, that's
We're
right.
COVID fine. There's only 3 of us. We're COVID fine.
She's my hairdresser.
Okay, look happy and smiley. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks.
Now you guys can come and help us clean up.
Thank you for coming.
Carol and Susan, I want to thank you. This is incredible. I see that it was so much effort for you to bring all these materials. And it was just a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Lynanne has been taking up residence here for the
Yes,
past 2
I
days.
know. And the decorations are beautiful too of the club.
Yes.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Holidays.
Happy
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Bye.
you so
Bye.
much.
Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bon appetit.
All.
You do have a great bon appetit voice, Susan.
Well, you know, Julia was my aunt.
Your aunt.
It's
Really?
an aunt, my aunt. Pasadena. I
No,
think it's a Pasadena
aunt is a
accent.
giveaway.
Wow.
I
Now-
just sent you an email or a photo of our neighborhood wreaths, so you'll
Oh.
have it when you get home.
Oh, beautiful.
So I'm gonna we could give all these nice here, this stuff to her.
Want to, yeah, take the greens.
It's still recording.